Hello friends, welcome to Insights ICAN initiative. From today onwards, on every Sunday, we are going to have a weekly roundup. If you like this kind of initiative, please give your opinion in comment section. So that on daily basis, we will go through the issues, same like on every day 8 p.m. On Sunday, we will have the quick overview of the entire week as a weekly roundup. So this is going to be the week 1. So next Sunday is going to be the week 2. Like that, the numbering will be given. So whatever the small incidents which we did not cover in the issues on daily basis, those we will cover in this video. That means in this video, you can expect that at least 6 to 7 topics easily. Now, let us go through what topics we are going to discuss in today's weekly roundup. In today's video, we are going to discuss about first, loss of Indian citizenship. This is according to the report given by the Home Ministry, and Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, International Seabed Authority, and International Day for the Conservation of the Mangrove Ecosystem, and US Federal Reserve. They increase the interest rate. It is related to economy. This one is related to environment, international relations, and schemes and polity, North Sea IR, and PSLV C56 SNT. So this video is going to cover various subjects, okay, as a part of the weekly roundup. Now let's see. In syllabus mapping point of view, it is very important in terms of the prelims. First topic, modes of losing Indian citizenship. Okay, why we are discussing this? We are discussing this because here, if you look at here, from 2011, according to the government reports, around 17.50 lakh Indians, they lost citizenship. Okay, so here, as an aspirant, you have to know what are the ways a person can lose the citizenship. There are 3 ways a person can lose the citizenship. Either the renunciation, or through termination, or through deprivation. We will discuss those 3 things. And in India, citizenship will be covered by Citizenship Act 1955. Okay, tell me students, which range of article deals with the citizenship? Okay, which article to which article in the Indian Constitution deals with the citizenship? Tell me, put the answer in the comments. And one more question to you is second question, that is, which article of the Indian Constitution prohibiting the double citizenship? Which article of the Indian Constitution prohibiting the double citizenship? That means dual citizenship is prohibiting by which article? You have to tell me students. Now, loss of citizenship. First one is by renunciation. Renunciation means voluntarily a person is declaring that. A person means here a major who is fully fit mentally. The person is voluntarily, he is renouncing, giving away the citizenship of India. They'll form a declaration. But this kind of declaration during the time of war period, because during the war period, an individual may be forced to declare in this way. So they are invalid. Declaration during the war period invalid. Then what about the minor children? If a person is renouncing Indian citizenship, what about the minor children? Those minor children, after they get the age of 18 years, they have a choice to opt for the Indian citizenship. That is when they attain the major age. Next, termination. Termination is all about when a person is acquired the citizenship of another country, automatically Indian citizenship will be terminated. And this provision is also not applied during the time of war. You know, the students, India fought wars with Pakistan 1948 and China 1962 and Pakistan 1965 and Pakistan 1971 and Kargil War 1999. These are the various times India fought war. Next, deprivation. Deprivation means government of India will take away citizenship of a particular person in following conditions. Okay, in which condition? For example, if an individual obtained citizenship through fraud, false representation, or concealing facts, or a disloyalty to the Constitution of India, or is involving with enemy country in terms of trade or in terms of the communication which affect the sovereignty of India, or else if a person after getting citizenship of India in a naturalization process within 5 years, if he get any sentence for 2 years or more than 2 years, then also he will be disqualified. And any NRI who is staying out of India continuously for 7 years also, they also lose citizenship of India. These are the ways, deprivation. Okay, that was the first topic, that is loss of Indian citizenship. Second topics, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. According to the Ministry of Farmers Welfare, they given information in the Parliament to one of the question. According to that given data, we can observe that premium, that means farmer, whatever the money they have to pay, the premium is increasing, but the claim settlement, that means farmers are not getting enough money. In this context, we have to know about Prime Minister Fasal Bima Yojana. It was launched in 2016 and it is administered by the Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare, which comes under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Objective. What is the main objective of the insurance? Obviously, to protect farmers for untimely damages. First one is it gives financial support when farmers' crop will experience any natural disaster. And it also stabilizes the income because at least the farmers will be protected by the insurance. So that kind of income security will be there. And this scheme, one more objective is it encourages the farmers to practice more innovative and modern agriculture practice. If you remember, in DPSP, Article 48 says that state has to encourage modern ways of agriculture as well as animal husbandry. Here you have to understand, students, note, this insurance covers the entire crop cycle, that is from the pre-sowing, before sowing till post-harvest. It covers entire crop cycle. It is not restricted to only particular period of the cropping period. Who are eligible? The eligibility criteria. If you are a farmer and taking loan under cooperatives or KCC, if you are taking agriculture loan, automatically you will covered with this Fasal Bima Yojana. If you are not a loanee, if you are not taking any loan, then it is optional for you. You may opt or not. Okay. Insurance coverage. This insurance coverage depends on the crop and depends on the damage you experience. Based on that, the insurance coverage will be given. Which crops it applies? It applies to food crops as well as oil seeds and annual commercial crops and annual horticulture crops. To all these variety of crops, this scheme is applicable. General exclusion. Okay, which damages will not cover under this scheme? Damages because of the war, nuclear attack, or someone damaged with a wrong intention, like to claim the insurance. In those kind of condition, this coverage is not applicable. Then how much premium farmers have to pay? Premium is around 2%. Farmers have to pay for kharif crops. That means 2% of the total insurance amount. For example, you are getting insured for 1 lakh. In that 2% has to be paid by the farmer for kharif crop. It is 1.5% for the rabi crop. And for the commercial and horticulture crops, it will be the 5%. Rest of the amount bear by the central and state government in equal proportion, 1:1 ratio. Next, we are going to discuss about, this is the third topic, International Seabed Authority. This International Seabed Authority regulates the deep sea mining. Deep sea mining is about exploring minerals in the ocean floor. So, this Seabed Authority, this Seabed Authority regulates which jurisdiction? This entire jurisdiction, the jurisdiction exclusion of the exclusive economic zone. You know the students, from a particular country, first it will come territorial water, then exclusive economic zone. Beyond exclusive economic zone, for example, this is the Africa continent. This is the Africa continent, and here from this International Seabed Authority will start. That means this is about the exclusive economic zone of those countries. Beyond the exclusive economic zone, they are known as high seas. High seas. These high seas are regulated by a law that is known as UNCLOS, United Nations Convention on Law of Sea. And the authority which is enforcing it is International Seabed Authority, ISA, International Seabed Authority. Now recently, the International Seabed Authority meeting was held, so we are going to discuss about that in news. So 2 years roadmap was adopted by the International Seabed Authority with respect to what? With respect to deep sea mining. Deep sea mining in where? International waters, that you have to understand. Now let us focus on International Seabed Authority when it was established. It established in 1994. It regulates all the mining related as well as the related activities such as fishing, and all these kind of activities will be regulated by International Seabed Authority. And this International Seabed Authority, it came into existence through a law that is known as UN Convention on Law of Sea. This law was enacted in 1982. It regulates how the international seas should be used. Okay. Next, the headquarters of the Seabed Authority, Kingston, Jamaica, and members present 169 members. Out of that, 168 are the nation states and one is the European Union. Function. What kind of functions this International Seabed Authority will give? It give licenses and it will renew the licenses and it will regulate the activities related to exploration and mining of various minerals in the deep seas. And it also protects the marine environment. That means it enhances it protects the biodiversity of the marines also. Next, this UNCLOS. This UNCLOS, also known as the Law of Seas or Law of Sea Convention, and it was made in 1982. It was one of the legal framework to control the high seas. Already I told you students few weeks back that UNO, they are thinking about to replace this law with a new or modified law because things are changing. We require the updated law. UNCLOS, this law will covers all the maritime zones, okay, like Pacific zone and all this kind of maritime zones, it will be covered. It also covers the exclusive economic zone, territorial waters, and what are the responsibility of coastal states and conserving of marine resources such as coral reefs, fishing and all these things, and a peaceful settlement of disputes. For example, regarding the South China Sea dispute, China and Philippines, they are having the disputes. So those kind of disputes will be settled peacefully according to the UN clause. Next, fourth topic is related to mangroves. International Day for the Conservation of Mangroves. The speciality of mangroves is they are present in the ecotone. Ecotone means when two ecosystems are meeting, for example, terrestrial as well as the aquatic ecosystem, when they are meeting each other, that is known as ecotone. So in this kind of ecosystem, these mangroves are present. And the speciality of mangroves help in the strength of the soil so that soil erosion also can be stopped. And there are some other benefits of the mangroves also regarding the capture of the carbon dioxide. And it also offers a lot of shelter to the different organisms and all these things. And the speciality of the mangroves have some special root system. They are known as prop roots, prop roots. These roots, they are also known as pneumatophores. These roots helps in the respiration to the plants also. That you have to know that, students. International Day for the Conservation of Mangroves, we celebrate on July 26. And mangroves present on the ecosystem where terrestrial as well as aquatic ecosystem meets. And this International Day observing by the UNESCO since 2015. The main purpose is to create the awareness about the protection of the mangrove system. Because mangroves mangroves provide a lot of solutions to the human needs. Next, then the features of the mangroves. Like I said earlier, mangroves present in the coastal ecosystem and they are very densely present in the salt areas. Always remember, students, mangroves never present in the freezing conditions. That is the reason you can't see mangroves in the temperate regions. That you have to understand. Okay, and they are also present in coastal areas, estuaries, lagoons, and tidal flats. Some of the important trees you will find in the Indian mangroves. These are the red mangrove, black mangrove, white mangrove, and buttonwood mangrove. The scientific names also given here. And mangroves root system. These roots are known as prop roots, and they help in the respiration process. That is the reason they are also known as pneumatophores. What kind of conditions? Mangrove survives in extreme weather conditions like salty water. Even in the low oxygen conditions also mangroves survives. Like I said earlier, they can't survive in the freezing conditions. The speciality of the mangroves are they capture almost 10 times more carbon per hectare compared to the forest present in the terrestrial area. That is the reason mangroves are very crucial in terms of carbon sink. So tell me, students, by which year India want to achieve the carbon neutrality. Carbon neutrality. By which year India wanted to achieve the carbon neutrality? Tell me. Okay. And mangroves also purify the water, so they maintain the water quality. Now mangroves in India. See here, according to the Indian State of Forest report, the overall coverage of the mangroves in India in around 4,992 square kilometers. If you take that in terms of geography, as a percentage of Indian geography, around 0.15 percentage of the Indian geography consists of mangroves. And mangroves, India's mangrove coverage is one of the highest in the entire Asia. In India, states with highest mangrove coverage are West Bengal, Gujarat, then UTs such as Andaman Nicobar Islands and rest of the states. Next, we are going to discuss about the fifth topic. This is regarding the US Federal Reserve interest hikes. Always remember, students, US Federal Reserve is nothing but same like RBI in India. If they increase the rate of interest, then most number of the people, they try to invest in American market. So from India, the capital outflow, that FDIs and FIIs outflow will happen. That means for Indian borrowers, Indian companies, the borrowing will be very expensive. And the more demand for the dollar, that means rupee will be weakened. That is the reason whenever Federal Reserve increase the rate of interest, even the RBI also increase the rate of interest. That is the common phenomena you have to understand. Let's see. Here, USA Federal Reserve, they increase the rate of interest to the highest level since 2001. Okay. To contain what? To contain the inflation. Inflation means the continued increase of prices of goods and services. That is known as inflation. In India, inflation will be measured in both consumer price as well as the wholesale price index. RBI so take decisions regarding the monetary policy by taking consumer price index as a standard. This US Federal Reserve, they popularly known as Fed or like Federal Reserve. It is a central bank of USA, and whatever the RBI do in India, the same, majority of those activities will be done by this US Federal Reserve in America, like controlling the monetary policy, regulating the banks and all these things. Impact. What is the impact? Like I said earlier, US Federal Reserve rate hike, it impacts not only the America, but majority of the other developed nations as well as developing nations. High rate of interest US, high rate of interest. It means American investment, it looks more profitable. So that means the capital outflow, whichever the investments in other countries, those investment will be withdrawn and they'll flow to America. That resulted to borrowing will be more expensive to the companies present in other country and especially countries like India. What is the impact on Indian economy? Like I said earlier, Indian rupee will become weaker because more demand for the dollar. Because of that, capital outflow will be there, and to stop the weakening of Indian rupee, RBI generally will increase the rate of interest to counter the America's monetary policy. This is generally you will see. Next, we are going to discuss about the North Sea. Why we are discussing the North Sea? Recently, unfortunately, there was an incident. There was a ship accident happened in the North Sea that is related to India freight ship, goods ship. One person was died and some other people subjected to injury. In this context, we will discuss about the North Sea. If you look at here, North Sea is a part of the North Atlantic Ocean and it is part of the Northern Europe. North Sea connects to the Atlantic Ocean through English Channel, and North Sea connects to the Baltic Sea through Skagerrak State and Kattegat Bay. Through this, it connects to the Baltic Sea. Now we'll see some other, and one more thing, this North Sea, it consists of so many ports, and these are very busiest ports in the Europe. Best example, Rotterdam ports. North Sea, Indian crew member, they got killed in ship accident in North Sea. North Sea is a part of the Northern Europe and part of the Atlantic Ocean. Borders, this is bordered by UK and Norway in the western direction, okay, UK and this is Norway in the northwest direction, UK and Norway. Then Denmark in the south, Germany and Netherlands, Belgium and France, they are towards the east. Okay, these are some of the direction related to North Sea. Straits, like I mentioned earlier, North Sea connects with the Atlantic Ocean through English Channel, and North Sea connect with the Baltic Sea through Kattegat and Skagerrak Strait. And here you have to understand, students, here Kiel Canal also you will find in this map. Kiel Canal. Kiel Canal, it is one of the busiest artificial channel. Kiel Canal, it is through Germany. It connects North Sea with the Baltic Sea. This Kiel Canal is also one of the busiest artificial canal, same like Suez Canal, students. And the deepest part in the North Sea is around 725 meters. It is known as the Norwegian Trench. And the shallowest part is the Dogger Bank. That means less depth. Climate. Generally, long, cool climates we can observe with very less temperature. Rivers. Some of the major rivers such as River Elbe, River Thames, Rhine and Humber. These are some of the rivers. They will go and merge in the North Sea. Important ports, busiest ports such as Rotterdam is also located on the North Sea. Next, PSLV C-56. ISRO successfully launched PSLV C-56 and it carried 7 satellites, and all these satellites are belong to Singapore. All the 7 belong to Singapore, students. Now let's see PSLV. PSLV stands for Polar Satellite Launching Vehicle. It consists of 4 stages: solid, liquid, solid, liquid. These are the 4 alternative stages. And PSLV is the most successful launching vehicle in terms of ISRO. It launches generally satellite in the polar orbit. Okay. What is the main objective? The main objective behind the PSLV is to place the remote sensing satellites. That means Earth observation satellites. This satellite is generally useful for the observing of weather conditions and reconnaissance, that means spy activities, communication and mapping activities. All these related satellites comes under the remote sensing satellites, and the satellites are launched by the PSLV. Okay, the key features of the PSLV satellites. These satellites are artificial satellites. They orbit around the Earth in the north-south direction, and they pass over the poles. That is the reason this orbit is known as polar orbit. They cover the entire Earth. Next, these are generally placed in the low Earth orbit. Okay, we have the low Earth orbit, mid Earth orbit, and the geosynchronous orbit. You know that. So all these satellites through PSLV, they placed on the low Earth orbit, that is ranging from 500 to 800 kilometers from the Earth's surface. Some of the popular missions launched by the PSLV: Chandrayaan-1 in 2008, the first exploration towards the moon. Then Mars orbital mission in 2013, first interplanetary mission. AstroSat 2015, first space observatory one, that is also through PSLV. Cartosat 2, India's high resolution satellite for maps point of view. Then RISAT, it is the radar imaging, and it helps in the defense and security point of view. It can capture the images even during the night times also. You know that, students, this kind of satellite helps in the surgical strikes and all these things. So all these successful launches are done by the PSLV. Last video question: what is stapled visa? Stapled visa is an alternative method of visa issuing a paper attached to the passport. This we discussed. And let's focus on today's question. Which of the following regions of India has a combination of mangrove forest, evergreen forest and deciduous forest, where you will see all these different types of forests? Okay. So Indian government bond yields are influenced by which of the following? Here already answer displayed. 1, 2, 3. All these 3 will affect the Indian bond yields. Next, main question: emerging markets like India remain vulnerable to US Fed tightening cycle. Comment. That means the US federal rates increasing phenomenon is still affecting the Indian economy, and examine this. This is the main question. So now we reach to the end of this video, students, and give your valuable insights about this video. In this weekly current affairs, we discussed about the 7 important issues are related to this entire week we discussed. This is the detailed analysis regarding the weekly roundup.